Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the CCS Open Division Championship game here at the Levy Center. It is the Bellarmine Bells facing off against the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish. Fighting Irish, the 8th seed in the CCS Open Division. The Bells, the 3rd seed. Spencer, here tonight, how does the Cinderella story top the Bellarmine Bells, who are coming in at their 4th WCAL Open Division Championship game here tonight?
Well, usually when a team gets all these underdog wins, they play hard. They're not, a team that's going to have the talent to just kind of coast to a victory. They have to do the little things well. They have to be scrappy. They got to get on the floor. They've got to hound the other side, control the tempo. Those are the types of small details tonight that could be crucial.
So as both teams get set here, as the final horn will sound, the Bells in their last game able to defeat Reardon 68-61, an overtime win for BCP, and then Sacred Heart Cathedral defeated Menlo Atherton, the only non-WCAL team in this open division, 72-65. Well, as we get set for this national anthem, we will tune you back in right after here on Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Well, welcome back as we get the starter set for you here at Santa Clara University for the Bells. It will be Kieran Cruz, Quinn Danker, Ian Elam, and Ridley Ruth as alongside Gio Sasso. So Ridley Ruth once again starting here, Spencer. A guy really didn't come on till playoff time, but injuries and his illness has forced a couple Bellarmine players to step up, and as we mentioned, it's been team basketball that's led to success.
Yeah, it has, and Ridley Ruth last time out against Reardon was really effective all game long at both ends of the floor, did a great job playing individual man-to-man defense, solid job on the glass, had a couple of really nice box out. He's not really a go-to offensive guy necessarily. He can get a bucket every now and then, but really he's a glue guy, a guy who will do the little things, the nitty-gritty details that other guys don't want to do, and he's filling out his role quite nicely.
Yeah, had 8 points in their last game against SI, and 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist against Reardon. So he's played big minutes for the Bellarmine Bells. On the other side, for the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish, their starters will be Austin McCormick, Corey McCoy, Cedric Reed Jr., Elijah Flowers, and Oscar Chang. One name that stands out there, Oscar Chang, number 35, listed at 6'8", and with Ryan Kiashin not playing tonight for the Bells, the 6'7" sophomore, would we see Sacred Heart Cathedral attack the paint a little more than usual tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to when you have that type of size advantage inside, but it's really going to be on the big man Chang to be effective using the size. You can't just be tall and then get anything and everything that you want. You have to be physical. You have to be smart. You have to stay out of foul trouble so that you can stay on the court. But when you get rebounds offensively or defensively, the way to utilize your size is to not turtle. That's something that young kids, especially young big kids, have to get taught a lot when they secure a rebound, to not turtle, because that brings the ball down to where the little guys can get their hands on it. You got to be strong, keep it up high, and make sure that you're the only one who can get that ball out of the air. Another thing, rebounding for big guys, that can be crucial, timing. The timing of their jump and reading the ball and how you think it's going to come off the rim can give them a big advantage. But typically, taller guys like Chang are not going to be as skilled in that department because they're accustomed to just being taller. Normally, it's the littler guys or the average size guys who are really skilled with that. So it's going to be interesting to see tonight how those matchups on the glass play out.
Yeah, one thing to note for the Bells, somebody who's going to be asked to step up, sophomore Josh Wolfblum had 5 points against Reardon, but played that whole overtime period, Spencer, and played great minutes. So one of the guys who's been pulled up from JV, but he's going to be called on to try to defend Chang tonight.
Yeah, he is, and it's not going to be an easy task for the sophomore, but we saw him live up to the moment last time out against Reardon. He didn't look phased at all. He was flying in, attacking the basket, snagging rebounds, making hustle plays, doing all the sorts of things that you want to see a guy do to show that he is not intimidated by being called up to varsity, as he has his name called out right now as they announce the entire rosters here before we get going. But we'll see how he's able to play tonight. This obviously the championship game. It's even bigger than a semifinal, but the sophomore was not phased last time out.
Yeah, and on the other side, Sacred Heart Cathedral, a team that had lost one of their best players who now playing at Reardon, Bryce Monroe, transferred last year, first team all WCL. He leaves, and there's the Cathedral teams are looking to the outside, probably won't even win a couple league games. And people were right. 3-11 through January 8th and February 6th. This team lost 9 of their 10 games, but they're back here in the Open Division Championship while Bryce Monroe, transferred, is watching this game at home. Other thing to note for the Bellarmine Bells, similar story. Graduated WCL Player of the Year Jake Wojcik, graduated first team All-Player Kendall Stubblefield. Nobody really had this team coming back to the position they are in tonight. So both teams are playing with a chip on their shoulder, trying to prove to the preseason doubters that, hey, we belong here, and trying to close the deal tonight, Spencer.
Yeah, and I think it just goes to show that odds and favorites and who's supposed to do this or that really doesn't mean anything. And I think the number of times that you see draft picks in any sport who are overlooked or who are doubted for a number of reasons, it stays with them. I mean, it stays with guys not just for a week or a game or a season. It can stay with them for their whole careers when they get slighted like that. And so Sacred Heart Cathedral had Bryce Monroe transfers. He thought his playing future would be best served by playing over at Reardon. But, clearly they got to these playoffs. They were not pleased with how their season went, and they have showed that they deserve to be here, knocking off Mitty and then Monroe as well. And, just doing a great job of just not worrying about things you can't control. Yeah, Bryce left in the offseason, but what are you going to do about it now? You can't control it. You're not going to bring him back. You're not going to even, have a guy groom his game to try to recreate him. So, it's not as easy as it sounds, especially for a team of high school kids, but they've been able to do it, and that's why they're here playing for the Open Division title.
So as the final starters get announced, Ian Elam and Oscar Chang will get set for tip-off here at Santa Clara University. One thing to note, Spencer, out of the gate, this court is a little longer than a high school court. So it will be interesting to see if guys are winded and whether either team decides to push the pace thinking they are better conditioned.
Yeah, but I think that Bellarmine is actually well suited to play in this kind of court because we saw them against Reardon go about 9 guys deep on the bench for most of the game. And that's a huge advantage because there is a significant amount of difference between the size of a high school court that these kids are accustomed to and this full Division I college court here on the campus of Santa Clara University. Like it makes a difference, and we might see it early in the early going. So something to watch for in this game is fatigue in the second half. See if guys' jump shots start looking a little flat, if they aren't doing the hustle plays, if they're not getting down on defense. That's something we'll definitely want to monitor as this game goes on.
Yeah, also, so you mentioned 9 Bellarmine players scored in their last game against Reardon, so we'll see how deep Schneider goes as the tip is won by McCormick. Back to Reed, and we get set here at Santa Clara. Sacred Heart Cathedral in the away green, something they have worn all tournament, and the white numbering with the white letters across the chest. Bellarmine in their home blues for the first time in the tournament with the blue script across. Down low, here's a bucket for Oscar Chang, and we talked about it pregame, and there they go to it. Down low, Chang with the first bucket.
And just using his size right there over Elam, and Elam playing smart, solid defense, not being overly aggressive. Bellarmine cannot afford to have him pick up any fouls, and he avoids one right there.
It looks like a 2-3 here for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Danker will fire left wing, and he buries a triple. Quinn Danker only 10 points against Reardon, but grabs the first 3 of the night, and it's 3-2 Bells, minute gone by. Here's driving now is Flowers. Left it short at the rim. Rebound McCormick. He's blocked away by Elam, and Cruz comes up with the rebound. Cruz, right wing, Euro steps against Reed. Layup blocked by Flowers, out of bounds, and it will be Bellarmine basketball, but good hustle there by Flowers after missing the layup, going all the way down the court and able to disrupt Cruz's shot.
Both coaches were wondering how there was no call. I think a couple of the players stopped because they assumed a foul was coming.
Here's Elam, left block, and the hero against Reardon gets a bucket. Elam with the deuce, and it's a 5-2 Bellarmine lead.
And that's what we saw a lot of against Reardon. He's got nice soft touch down low and does an excellent job finding the holes in the defense and getting to his spots.
Reed, right wing, bounces it up top to Flowers, turns and faces and gives it over left wing. 3 coming from McCoy, too strong. Danker fighting for it. Chang will come up for it, but it will be a foul against McCormick. And Spencer, I think that's the right call, as Danker looked like he was pulled down as he went up for the rebound.
Yeah, I think it was. Good call there by the official. Danker went up for it, and then all of a sudden you just kind of saw his body jerk down a little bit. So right call there from the officials. But here in the early going, Quinn Danker with the hot hand hitting a triple, but he really did struggle from the floor last time out against Reardon. We'll see if he can stay hot here in the early going.
And Danker shooting 5 for 15 against Reardon. 1 for 1 though so far tonight. Here's Elam, far block extended, turns and faces against Chang. Now will put the ball on the deck. Right hand blocked away by Chang. Gets it out to Danker though, right wing. Another 3 in and out, and Chang thought it almost brought down the board, lost it though, and Ruth able to track it down. Bells with their 3rd possession.
Those are the types of hustle plays that Ridley Ruth does for this Bellarmine Bell squad.
Here's Cruz right wing. Bells up 3, looking to add more. Gives it to Danker. Floater, left side from 10, and he puts it home. Quinn Danker's got 5 of the 7, and with 5:45 to play, Bells up 5. Here's a layup coming the other way from McCoy. Couldn't drop it home. Chang grabs the rebound, but he throws it out of bounds.
And just a little bit of a chaotic sequence here at the other end. Right now, Sacred Heart Cathedral not getting great looks offensively, but they're trying to get everything going in transition. We'll see if they start to slow it up as this game goes on.
Well, Bellarmine dominated the first half last time these two teams faced off. 31-15 was their lead after 16 minutes, and right now in the driver's seat with 2.5 gone. Here's Danker right wing being watched there. Sacred Heart Cathedral goes back to man-to-man. Ruth driving to the free throw line. Gives it out to Elam into the right corner. Cruz, and it's knocked out of bounds by Flowers, who will have the task of guarding the former second-team All-WCL player Kieran Cruz.
And great defense there by Flowers, staying on the deny in the corner. A lot of times you'll see kids help off of their man in the corner, but you're never supposed to. Help is always supposed to come from the weak side, not the near corner.
Danker, left wing, dribbles down the right alley, pump fake, scoop shot, up at the rim, and he puts it home. Quinn Danker's got 7 points here early, and the Bells are up 7, 5 to play in the first quarter. Here's a pass coming from down low from Flowers. That one's taken away by the Bells. Cruz, skip pass to Danker. He's feeling it. He'll fire. Quinn Danker off the front iron, and a rebound taken down by McCormick.
And Danker not hesitating at all. The crowd was ready to go nuts if he hit another.
Here's a drive there by Reed. Dishes it to Chang, and Chang's got all 4 for Sacred Heart Cathedral, as that has been working down low so far. 9-4 lead for the Bells. 4:46 to play here in the opening quarter.
And Oscar Chang not doing it with one-on-one offensive game, really just finding open spots, and a nice feed right there from Cedric Reed Jr., and that's what has been working so far for Sacred Heart Cathedral, is just drive and find the big man.
Here's up top Cruz, taken away there by Flowers. Nobody in front of him, and he'll lay it home. So you talked about Elijah Flowers playing aggressive in the corner. Almost had a steal earlier. Gets one there, and it's a 3-point lead with 4:20 for the Bells.
And that fires up the Sacred Heart Cathedral side a little bit, as their defense now has got just a little bit more energy.
And there's an offensive foul coming against Elam. So 2 straight turnovers for the Bells, and now Cathedral chance to tie with a 3 on this possession.
And that's how momentum is able to impact a game in basically an instant, because it was 9-2 a moment ago, and now it's 9-6. It's just those types of little things that can sway the game.
Here's a drive coming from McCormick. He'll go down low. Chang unable to put that one home from the right block. McCormick, second shot opportunity. Left block not there. Chang another rebound, but he lost it, and it'll go out of bounds to the Bells.
There were at least 3 fouls on that possession. The officials missed a number of calls. Sacred Heart Cathedral, unfortunate to not get any one of them there. I mean, McCormick had his arm blatantly held as he shot a layup, and there was no call from the official.
Here's Danker left wing. Bells up 3, looking to add more to the lead. 3:43 to play in the first. Danker from 10 puts it home. Quinn Danker's got 9 already of the 11, and with 3:30 to go, the Bells are up 5.
And Danker's body control is excellent. He got the step on his man. That was Cedric Reed defending him, but it just being a little over aggressive.
Here's a drive coming from Reed and blocked away by Elam. Cedric Reed tried to go with one hand at the rim, and Ian Elam said not today.
Yeah, he is doing a great job of fighting down low.
Elam tips it, and it goes out of bounds to Sacred Heart Cathedral. Quick hands in the passing lane off the inbound underneath, and with 3:21 to play, Cathedral will inbound it as Kyle Lewis checks in for Ridley Ruth. 11-6, Bellarmine on top behind the 9 points from the junior point guard Quinn Danker. Here's Reed, pump fakes, gets Sasso in the popcorn machine, tries from 10, left block, or left side, got it to go. And so it's an 11-8 lead for the Bells after that deuce. Here's Danker, drives to the free throw line. Pump fakes and finds in the corner to Lewis. Lewis near side, back to Danker on the right wing. Danker will wheel up top, gives it to Sasso, straight on Elam. Now to the right wing, Danker. Flowers almost had another steal. Danker will go down low to Cruz, and Cedric Reed will be called for the foul, trying to reach over the top and get a steal.
And Danker right there throwing the ball to Cruz. Not really sure why. It didn't look like Kieran Cruz was really ready for the ball. Credit Cedric Reed Jr. for being Johnny on the spot. He fouled him a little, not a lot.
Here's Cruz. Left block, blocked away by Flowers from behind. Elijah Flowers has played relentless in these opening minutes, has a steal and a block.
He's just got a different level of energy on the floor. No player at either end has got the energy of Elijah Flowers right now. I mean, Danker has been solid, and he's really just got excellent body control everywhere he goes, but he doesn't have that level of energy.
Cruz, 3, left corner, crawls over the front iron, and Reed grabs the rebound. Sacred Heart Cathedral down by 3 as Cedric Reed will cross the timeline. Now he'll pull it back out. 2:40 to play here in the opening quarter. Here's McCormick straight on to Reed, right wing. Reed holds the ball above his head. Now we'll put it on the deck. Finds left wing over to McCoy. McCoy drives in the paint. Hands off down low to McCormick, and the right block layup goes.
And the crowd wanted a travel there on McCoy, but it looked like he got that pass off just before his feet hit the ground, but it was certainly a very close call.
1 point lead for the Bells. 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Danker, left wing, has 9. Up top, Elam. He'll try from distance. Ian Elam. We did not see that last night, or 2 nights ago, as he buries the 3, and it's 14-10. Chang in transition off the left block, cuts the lead in half. Oscar Chang was 6, and the pace starting to pick up here at Santa Clara.
It was a beautiful feed from Elijah Flowers.
Elam down low, right block, another one. Ian Elam has 7 of his own, and it's been the Elam Danker show for Bellarmine as Flowers will push the other way. 4-point lead for the Bells, minute 30 to play here in the opening quarter.
And Flowers with a nice little underhand bullet pass for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Denker more of a soft touch bounce pass that knifed right through the defense. Really excellent play from both point guards.
Here's a drive coming from McCormick. Left wing three, McCoy buries it. And that one by Corey McCoy makes it a 1-point lead for the Bells. Minute to play here in the first.
And he's got almost no rotation on that jump shot, but nothing but net right there. It is not how it looks. It is how it ends. Kind of the summary Sacred Heart Cathedral season.
Danker, far wing three, too strong, and a rebound will be grabbed by McCoy. McCoy will push across to McCormick. Just under a minute to play, 16-15. Bellarmine on top of the Fighting Irish, but a chance to take their first lead since 2-0 right here. Here's McCormick up top. Right-hand dribble at the logo. Crosses over to the left and takes a screen from Chang. Finds Reed. Right wing. 3-ball tipped by Cruz. And Trotzen comes down with a rebound. Ryan Trotzen walks it across the logo. Shot clock and game clock about a 2-second difference for the Bells. And they will hold for the last shot, up 1. Elam has it. Looking for Danker. Will hand off to him. Flowers did not make that one easy. Top of the Fighting Irish.
Cedric Reed almost drew a foul there on Kieran Cruz. He let that half-court heave go. He got bumped and ended up on the ground. I know it's a tough call for the officials to make, but certainly one that could have been made. And, you know, Sacred Heart Cathedral, it really feels like they controlled most of that first quarter after the early run from Bellarmine. Want to give a shout out to Arnie von Massenhausen of Home Services Lending. First-time homebuyer or looking to refinance your current mortgage? Work with an experienced home mortgage consultant to find a solution that best fits your needs. Call Arnie today at 408-858-4906. Also want to let you know about San Jose's Hot Country 95.3 KRTY. Not only the best in today's country music, but offering the best in local sports. KRTY is the South Bay home of the Golden State Warriors, 2-time NBA champions in the last 2 years, as well as a great partner with the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting for high school sports in the South Bay. For more info, go to their website at krty.com. And, of course, got to give a big shout-out to our friend Kevin Moore, friend of Central Coast Sports Broadcasting and making a difference in our community.
Well, Central Coast Sports is your source for high school athletics all year long. Follow us, and we'll take you right into the 2019 CCS playoffs, and here we are. We would love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Drop us a line at ccsblive@gmail.com. You can also go to our website for more information, centralcoastsports.live, and follow us on Facebook, Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Well, 16-15 the score. Bellarmine on top here as we start the second quarter. The Bells moving left to right as Quinn Danker crosses the logo. Quinn with 9 in that first quarter, but traveled right there. Danker had 5 turnovers against Cathedral already, or against Reardon 2 nights ago, already with 2 in this one.
And just an unnecessary, unforced turnover right there. In tennis, it would be called an unforced error. The defense didn't really do anything. Danker just got caught in the air and then came down on his feet. And, you know, just a senseless turnover right there for Bellarmine. And Sacred Heart Cathedral now a chance to take the lead.
That would be their first lead since 2-0. Reed dancing on Trotzen. Step back 3, left wing, in and out. Cedric Reed with almost a highlight play, and Kyle Lewis will push. For the Bells, up by 1. Trotzen right side. Constantine Cole has checked into the game. This is his first minutes since Reardon about 3 weeks ago. And when Bellarmine played Reardon in the WCL, as there's a turnover by the Bells. In the passing lane there was McCoy, able to tip it off Danker, and another turnover for the Bells, and another opportunity for Cathedral to take the lead.
And how many times tonight have we seen Sacred Heart Cathedral having their hands in the passing lanes? Bellarmine wants to casually move it around the perimeter, and Sacred Heart Cathedral's doing those types of little things that I talked about in the pregame show.
Here's a 3 coming from McCoy off the front of the rim as Cole brings down the board. Constantine Cole, a regular starter for the Bells all year. We mentioned getting his first minutes since 3 weeks ago. Here's Sasso left wing. Bells up by 1, looking to add more. Drives to the free throw line. Finds Trotzen, left block, pretty fine. Trotzen could not finish, and a rebound is taken by McCormick. So Cathedral will push down by 1. McCormick in the lane. Pushes it outside to McCoy. McCoy jabs right, moves left, down the left alley, draws contact, and almost the bucket. As Corey McCoy will walk to the free throw line with an opportunity to give Sacred Heart Cathedral a lead as Bella leads 16-15, 6:34 to play here in the second.
And what a great crossover move that was by McCoy. Really quick off the dribble and excellent body control, kind of mirroring Quinn Denker at the other end. What they both do is they've got a great handle to get by their defender initially, and then they seal their defender just a little bit so they can get that ball out, extend it on a finger roll layup, and not allow their primary ball defender to get a hand or affect that shot and force either a weak side rotation for a dump-off pass or a layup like right here.
McCoy knocks down the first one and buries the second as we get a couple substitutions. Ray John Jackson, the freshman guard, will check in along with Lavin Johns for the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish. Danker will walk it up as Sacred Heart Cathedral has the lead back, their first lead since 2-0. Here's Cruz left wing. Cruz drives right against Johns. Fall-away jumper at the free throw line off the side of the iron. Rebound taken down by McCormick. He's got a couple of those tonight. Full court pass looking for Jackson. Finds it to him into the corner. Almost found Johns. But Sacred Heart Cathedral, we mentioned the long court, but they are pushing off every missed basket.
They have done it all night long with a lot of success, and a heads-up play there by Ray John Jackson. That pass carried him out of bounds. Not only tremendous athleticism to snatch it out of the air as he had to with one hand, but he recognized that he was going to go out and had the wherewithal to find his man in the corner. It was knocked out of bounds, but keeps possession right there. That's a heads-up play there from a freshman.
2 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Cathedral up by 1 with the ball. Left wing, here is McCormick. Gives it up top to Johns. Johns holds the ball at the hip, finds Reed left wing. Right-hand dribble working against Danker. Gives it over to Jackson. The freshman drives, layup in the lane, and he puts it down. A little double clutch for Ray John Jackson. Fearless attack to the hoop, and it's a 3-point lead for Cathedral, their largest of the night.
And that's really what they've been doing well all night long. Fearless, like you said, aggressive, smart attacks, and tremendous awareness by the freshman to go up and under.
Cole drives baseline, falls on the deck, and gives it over to Elam. Here's Sasso, left wing. He'll try a three off the front of the rim. Cole fighting for the rebound and gets it out to Sasso. The Bells will reset with a fresh 35. Josh Wolfblum, the sophomore, has checked in for Bellarmine as Coach Schneider will call time with 5:21 to play and then down 19-16 to the Fighting Irish.
Looking for a fresh, rich, Sicilian-style pizza? Come check out Pomodoro Pizza, 6932 Almaden Expressway, San Jose, for your ultimate pizza experience. Stop by today. And Carla, you really hit on it a moment ago. It's been an up-and-down affair, mostly on the Sacred Heart Cathedral side. They've just done such a great job in transition, knowing where their guys are going to be, but not hesitating. I mean, when you're running a fast break, even on a bigger court, you can't afford to hesitate because windows will close in an instant. But they know that they want to push, and it's not an X's and O's thing. It's a mindset. It's a mentality. It's get the ball, we're going, we're attacking. Let's step on their throats. Let's get them. Let's get after it right here. And that's what Sacred Heart Cathedral is doing to Bellarmine right now. They're just taking it to them physically. They're not allowing them, Bellarmine, to get easy passes. They're not allowing easy buckets in transition. They're forcing Bellarmine to rotate, to make defensive plays. It's just they're the aggressor in every sense of the word. And after being down 9-2 early, they're looking at a 3-point lead.
Yeah, and a Cathedral team that hasn't done it with a big run, but just slowly and surely getting back into this ball game. And so with 5:21 to play, they have the 3-point lead, the 8th seed on top here at Santa Clara. Bellarmine, though, will inbound left to right out of the timeout. Ruth checked in, drives, Pai Chang, and gets fouled on the layup. Ridley Ruth attacking the rim and will pick up the foul. Coach Sean McKay does not like it.
I think he's got a case to not like it. That was not a lot of contact. It was also a late call by the official whose call it is not normally. So I really understand why Coach McKay doesn't like it right there, because Chang really did stay straight up, and he didn't initiate any contact really, and it was just a late call. I don't like that one there from the official.
And one thing to note, there's 3 officials on the court here for the CCS Open Division Championship game, usually only 2 for high school basketball. So walking it across the court, here is Reed. Left wing over to Jackson. Jackson jabs left, goes right on the near side. Now we'll pull it out against Elam. Hands off back to Cedric Reed, who has yet to score here tonight, although had 18 against MA. He'll drive, layup too strong off the glass, and a rebound Elam.
And still a great move there by Cedric Reed. And he is prolific off the bounce.
Cruz, three, left wing, off the front of the iron. Rebound, Johns. And here comes Cathedral pushing. Johns down the left alley, goes right to the rim. Layup is short, and a bunny miss there for the Fighting Irish.
Again, a great move, splitting the double team with the Euro step, but just unable to finish.
Cruz will turn it over in transition. Jackson, the good hustle. McCormick down low to Johns' left block, finishes, and Sacred Heart Cathedral is up by 3, 21-18 as we approach halfway through the second.
Credit Ray John Jackson reading the eyes of the Bellarmine point guard and just jumping up in the passing lane. Once again, Sacred Heart Cathedral, a hand in the passing lane leads to an easy bucket.
Here's Danker, drives, pump fakes, finds Elam right block, layup, puts it home. Ian Elam has just been money, and it continues to be the Danker-Elam show. Elam with 9 and Danker with 9.
And I think you have to go to those two, working a two-man game every time down the floor if you're head coach Patrick Schneider, because that's been their most consistent form of offense, and you run it until the other team stops it.
Here's Reed, left wing, steps into a long two, too strong, and Cruz another board. So team basketball was how Bellarmine beat Reardon, but so far tonight it's been the two junior starters as Cruz brings it left wing. Cruz in and out cross, working against Johns, lofted on the deck, and Reed will pick it up for the Fighting Irish. Cedric Reed pushes, Euros in the lane, blocked by Ruth. Chang comes up with it though, holds it at the left elbow and gives it up top to Jackson as it'll be reset for Cathedral.
And Cedric Reed showing no signs of being shy. He's yet to score, 0 for 5 from the floor by my count, but he looks like a guy who you know can score, and if he gets it going, Sacred Heart could have an advantage.
21-20, the lead for the Fighting Irish. 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's Jackson, deep three as the shot clock expires, air ball, and that's going to be out of bounds on Johns. Really didn't think it would have mattered anyway. There's about 2 seconds on the clock as he batted it inbounds.
Yeah, you're right on it, Carlo. It really wasn't going to matter at all as we have a timeout on the floor now, but a good defensive session there from Bellarmine, and they look to take the lead. For more than 4 decades, no construction company ranks higher in award-winning projects such as school, nonprofits, and high-tech campuses. Enhancing and enriching our community, look no further than Block Construction. For more info visit www.blach.com. And stay tuned for the Central Coast Sports Halftime Show with the Halftime Spotlight with Carlo and myself. We'll take a look at CCS playoff brackets, and we'll break down the action in the first half, all coming up on the Central Coast Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2:58 to play here in the second quarter, 21-20, the Irish on top. It's been back and forth basketball ever since Cathedral took the lead, Spencer. What has been the difference for the 8th seed to continue to hold this lead?
It's really been their defense. I mean, we saw it just a moment ago. Their half-court offense has really not been all that great, but their transition offense has been superb. Even though they've missed their last couple looks at the rim, they're getting good looks every time they get out in transition. And defensively, they're just shutting Bellarmine down. Danker and Elam have had success working the pick-and-roll game, but really it's been the defense of Sacred Heart Cathedral that's been the story. They've gotten their hands on even more passes than they've already stolen. They're just hounding the Bells here at the defensive end, and it's paying dividends.
Oh, here they come with a press as Grassman will walk it up for the Bells. Grassman crosses the timeline against Jackson, hop steps, lost the basketball, now gets it back. Has it near side. Dribbles left side looking for Sasso. Hill's trying to get around Jackson. He does. Layup, left block, left it short, and a rebound taken by McCormick. McCormick will push. Dribbles left alley and hands out to Johns. Johns taking it in middle. Spins down, left hand layup off glass. What a move there from Johns.
Yeah, pretty spin move there from Johns, but at the other end, Jackson is forcing Nick Grassman to dribble left, and he poked it away, nearly had a steal early on. The defensive intensity is not letting up at all for Sacred Heart.
23-20, Cathedral with the 3-point lead. 2 minutes to play here in the first half as we get an away from the ball foul, and this one looks like it's going to go on Lavin Johns. So Johns will pick up his first of the game, and checking in back into the game will be Quinn Danker for Nick Grassman.
And I like that substitution there by head coach Patrick Schneider, because Grassman was struggling against the freshman Ray John Jackson, bringing it up. I mean, he almost lost the ball and then couldn't get a layup to go that he's certainly capable of making.
Here's an inbound. Ruth layup down the left block, airballed, and here's Cruz left wing off the rebound. Cruz tries a three, still cannot connect from downtown. Kieran Cruz has been ice cold so far, and the Fighting Irish will walk it down right to left. Chance to grab their largest lead of the night.
And Bellarmine needs someone other than Quinn Denker or Ian Elam, who's only really gotten it going down low. He does have the 1-3, but he's typically an inside player.
Jackson left wing three, long, and Cruz another board. As you mentioned, the Bells only 4 points here in the second quarter, 1:38 to play. Cruz up top, driving down the right alley, blocked by Chang, but a foul. And another late whistle there by the referees as Kieran Cruz will walk to the line.
And that one had more contact than the last foul we saw called on Oscar Chang, but that's his second personal foul. I thought that was going to be his third, but nonetheless, he'll probably check out of the game here for the final 1:33. And, we'll see if that affects how he plays in the second half. He's contested a number of shots down low for Sacred Heart, and if he's playing with 2 fouls, then he can't be quite so aggressive as Elijah Flowers comes back into the game for him.
Flowers will check in along with McCoy, and it will be Wolfbloom for Sasso for the Bells. 1:33 to play, 3-point lead for the Fighting Irish. Cruz could not connect on the first one. Second free throw is down, so Kieran Cruz gets his first point of the night with 1:30 to play here in quarter number 2.
And Cedric Reed handling the ball right now for Sacred Heart Cathedral. He's 0 of 5 from the floor. Let's see if he can get it going offensively.
Jackson spins, jumps in the air, and finds Flowers. Flowers looks to go around Wolfbloom, gives it to McCormick. McCormick is fouled on the left block. Bellarmine looked to get caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and it will be out of bounds for the Fighting Irish.
And Bellarmine right now is getting caught flat-footed on the dribble penetration, and then they're doing a good job of recovering to not allow any buckets, but they got to short up.
Reed pump fakes left block, and there's his first bucket. Cedric Reed with a nice pump fake to get the Bells in the air and gives Cathedral their largest lead of the night, 21-25. Wolfbloom drives, Euro, left-hand layup off glass. Josh Wolfbloom left open and takes advantage of the easy defense. Here's Jackson, jabs left, goes right, layup in the lane, and he responds. Jackson with a tough move, and it's 27-23, Cathedral by 4.
That's an impressive move for a freshman.
Denker, free throw line, Jay rattles it home as the pace picks up exponentially here at Santa Clara, but Cathedral will slow it up with about a 4-second average between shot and game clock.
Yeah, 6 points right in just the last about 25 seconds of game action, but Sacred Heart doing it the way they've done it all night long, attacking the basket, getting out in transition.
So 27-25, 2-point lead for the Fighting Irish. They have been able to attack inside all night. Bellarmine has really missed the presence of Cole and Kiachin here in this first half. Reed coming off a screen, one-on-one with Cruz, drives, tough shot, Cruz will block it. Wolfbloom gives it ahead to Denker in transition with 4, with 3. Denker right side layup, and he puts it home, and it's a tie game at half.
So what a hustle play there from Kieran Cruz to close out the half. Reed contorted his body, but the length of Kieran Cruz just ended up being too much, and he was able to swat the shot. And then Denker, who quite frankly might have gotten away with a little bit of a travel there, trying to corral the ball, running down at the other end, but able to finish a layup running at full speed. It's a lot harder than it looks, and we've got a tie ball game as we go into the second half.
27 all. It looked like it was going to be Cathedral with at least a 4-point lead before the end of the half, but the Bells, with the spurt of energy into the locker room, disappointed with themselves, but tie ball game, and this is very much like the Reardon game 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it really is, and we'll see how Bellarmine is able to respond. We haven't heard a lot from Ian Elam in terms of a consistent amount. I think he's got 7 points, but they've been very spaced out, so no consistent approach to try to get Ian Elam the basketball for Bellarmine. We'll see if that changes in the second half, but Quinn Denker, he's really been all over the place. Every time he's in the game, he is breaking down his guy off the dribble and doing an excellent job of finding the soft spots, shielding defenders, knocking down jumpers and floaters all over the place. He's been impressive.
Well, we're at the half, and our score 27 all. Time now for the halftime spotlight, brought to you by Block Construction, donating countless amounts of money and volunteer hours to provide critical services to charities and people in need. For more information, see their website at block.com. And by Arnie von Massenhausen of Home Service Leslie. of lending. With Arnie, you're a customer for life. Let his products, programs, and services protect your largest asset, your home. For more financing needs, call Arnie today at 408-858-4906. Well, Spencer, as we get set here for our halftime show, let's talk a little bit about the open selection process for both teams and how these teams, Sacred Cathedral, an 8th seed, but playing in the championship game, Bellarmine, a 3rd seed, usually not something we see at an open division championship.
No, it's not, but I think it goes to show that Sacred Heart Cathedral deserve to be in this open division. I mean, they come in with a losing record in this game. I mean, they're 12-14 on the year. They won just 3 league games. I mean, it's a testament to the level of competition that's played in the WCAL and the depth of that conference as well. But, you know, there are other teams, perhaps in the Division I, one of the top seeds up there, who think that maybe they should be in the open division. But Sacred Heart Cathedral clearly proven their case. And
with us here we have Steve Philos of CCS. We'll get him on the air for a halftime interview. Spencer will have the interview.
So as we get Steve the headset right here. Steve, welcome to the program. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for being here. We love having you.
Yeah, well, it is a pleasure to be here. Let's start with the changes to the postseason tournament. So no limit on the number of teams enrolling from any division heading in to the open division, which is the championship game that we're watching right now. There were rumors that Carmel or possibly Leland could have been selected. Can you talk a bit about the open selection process?
Sure. The committee sits down, and the first thing they do when they get all the candidates that are eligible for the tournament is sit down and select our 8 best teams. There used to be limits and such, or they had to be so many, there was a limit on a number of schools from any one division. But what we were finding was our open division wasn't necessarily our best 8 teams.
Right.
So in the last set of bylaws, they removed those limits and said, hey, let's just get our 8 best teams. Carmel, Leland were in the mix, as well as some other teams. It's usually pretty easy on the top 4, and then the next 4, they really struggle over it. They spend a good hour going over everybody's season summary, who beat who, common opponents, strength of schedule, all those things. A really good committee. It's an 8-person committee, 1 member from each of our leagues. They toil over it. They're led by an athletic director who's in charge of basketball, and they do wonderful work. I mean, no stone is left unturned on going over season summaries.
And you mentioned the number 8, an 8-day window to complete this tournament. It's a shortened schedule. I mean, that's really, really a short time to play this many games. What's been the reaction to it so far?
We'll have an evaluation committee at the end of the basketball season after the state playoffs are over. We'll sit down with all the reps from the leagues, both boys and girls, and say, okay, how did this work out? We were using the parameters we were given with regards to, the CIF had chosen to take a week away from the sections, and we were really split because our leagues didn't want to lose part of their league play as well, and I can understand that. Most of the kids, there's a lot of kids that never make playoffs, but you shouldn't take away from their season either. So we split the difference and said, okay, well, you want to keep the same style tournament that we've always had, and that's good because they've always enjoyed this style of tournament, and okay, if we keep that now, the other side of the coin is if we're going to split the difference with the leagues, we're going to have to jam that tournament into less amount of days, as you said. Instead of a 14 or 2-week period, we're down to an 8-day period, type of thing. We'll sit and say, okay, did it work out like we hoped?
Well, there have been a number of great basketball storylines in the CCS, not just in the boys division, but in the girls as well. They played on this court, in the game before, a couple of powerhouses with Mitty and Pinewood, and Mitty prevailing. You also had number 13 seed Salinas moving all the way into the quarterfinals in the boys D1. You had a triple overtime win for Mountain View versus Aragon in D2. Bellarmine got here with exciting overtime games and last-second buckets. What does that mean to the CCS to have such a consistent level of high-energy basketball?
I think that it says a lot for the coaches committee and our board of managers, recognizing what's best for our section. It may not be best for other sections, but it's what's good for our section, that we're having good competitive basketball all the way through. And the kids, bottom line, the kids are having a great experience in the tournament. And, like you said, you hit on some of them, and how many of them could you go back to? They're 1, 2, 3-point games,
right?
Buzzer beaters, the whole works. It just made an exciting tournament. And whether it was the Open Division or Division 2 or Division 5 or whatever, some great games going on. And I think the bottom line is we want kids in our section to have a great experience, and I think that's what's happening.
Well, that's CCS Assistant Commissioner Steve Filios. Steve, thanks for coming on the program.
My pleasure. I'm a little bit underdressed.
That's all right.
I know your listeners can't see it.
Yeah, we're on radio. It's okay.
Yeah.
You sold yourself out right there. I didn't say anything.
Thanks for having me.
That's Steve Filios, Assistant Commissioner for the CCS. Once again, 27-27 with 3:20 left before we get going here in the second half from the campus of Santa Clara University. Carlo, I got to say, it's the first time I've ever called a game from this particular seat when my Broncos were not on the floor, but so far it's been as good of a game as we could ask for.
Yeah, it has been really a back-and-forth game with a lot of great play on the offensive end for both teams. I think towards the end of that quarter, you mentioned the 6 points in about a minute span. That's something because of transition offense by both teams. Neither defense was allowed to set up early in the possession. So we'll see if that continues or guys continue to get winded here at Santa Clara University on this longer court.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it in the pregame for a reason. Certainly Sacred Heart showed no signs of struggling with the longer court. I mean, they were up. They had high intensity, especially at the defensive end, but on their attacks to the rim as well. And I'm not surprised to see them playing how they are tonight because of who they are and how they got here. Obviously, they're the Cinderella story. They're the number 8 seed. They knocked off Midi, and they're here in the Open Division Championship when no one thought they would be, coming in with a losing record and just 3 league wins. So it's really it's fun to watch because you know that these guys came in thinking, okay, we have to do other things. We're not just better. We don't have, we lost Bryce Monroe, who's a Division I bound basketball player. We don't have just kind of the raw talent, but you see them doing it with the little things. They've gotten their hands on a number of passes that I lost track a while ago. They're making life difficult for the Bellarmine guards. They're getting out in transition. They're aggressively attacking. They're being scrappy. They're getting after it. They want to put the fear of God into these Bellarmine Bells at the defensive end. And so far, that type of energy has really been the biggest reason why this is a tie ball game.
Yeah, 27 all. We're tied as both teams come out of the locker room here with some time to warm up. Unlike our game last night in which Piedmont Hill showed up with 10 seconds.
That was a bold strategy, Cotton.
Well, so
it worked.
If we get our halftime, it did work. If we get our halftime scoring, Ocean McCormick has 2, Corey McCoy with 5, Cedric Reed with 2, Elijah Flowers with 2, Oscar Cheng with 6, all in that first quarter. Ray John Jackson with 4, and Lavin Johns with 4. So the only 2 guys off the bench, totaling 8 of the 27 here for Cathedral. And for the Bellarmine Bells, Quinn Danker with 13 on the night, Karen Cruz with 1, Ian Elam with 9, Ridley Ruth with a deuce, and Josh Wolfloom also has 2.
Time now for our Green Waffle second half adjustments. Attention people who want to eat healthy. Try the latest sensation for breakfast or anytime. The Green Waffle, made with all natural food ingredients and 9 grams of protein in a single waffle. Folks, it's time to eat clean. Go green with the Green Waffle, first-year sponsor with Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. And, the adjustments that I see is Bellarmine has got to find a way to cut the energy and intensity at the defensive end that Sacred Heart has had. And offensively for Sacred Heart, I think Cedric Reed has really got to get it going. He's a guy who's not afraid to fire, certainly a capable scorer, but he had just 2 points in that first half.
Here's Reed, right wing for Cathedral. They start the ball with the ball here in the second half. Reed jabs right, now dribbles left, wheels up top towards the logo. Now we'll give it right side over to Flowers. Back up top, Reed. They move it to McCoy left wing. He'll attack. Fall away jumper, far baseline, air ball. Chang comes up with it. His second shot opportunity is short, and he'll go up again and get fouled. This one's going to be underneath, though, on the ground. But Oscar Chang has been a problem for the Bells all night.
Yeah, doing a great job of getting positioning down low against Ian Elam. But, you know, he did something that I talked about in the pregame. He kind of turtled the ball right there. I mean, he's fortunate that he got fouled, but he brought it down where the little guys can get after it. If he keeps that ball up high, he's either going to get fouled or just not have the shot be so contested, and there's a higher likelihood that he's going to make it. But so far, doing a good job positioning and playing without fouling. He has to be careful to not reach over anybody's back. He's the tallest guy on the floor, and he's playing with 2 fouls.
So he did go up shooting on that foul call, and he'll knock both free throws down as Cathedral will take the 25-23 lead, and the referee's going to go ahead and talk to Corey McCoy about his defense there on Quinn Danker, as they want somebody else than Quinn Danker to bring the ball up. Danker, of course, burned them for 7 of Bellarmine's first 9, as McCoy is a little bit of acting there on Cruz's screen. No foul call as Danker brings it up right to left. Going down low to Elam. McCormick with the steal. McCormick bounce pass Flowers, right block layup. Hits the bottom of the rim. Didn't see where he was going, and here comes Ruth. Ruth to Cruz, off his hands. And Kieran Cruz asking Ridley Ruth throw that ball earlier as he had the lane. Yeah, he did, but at the other end, Cedric Reed not able to convert the 3-on-2, and then Bellarmine misses a golden opportunity at the other end. You're right, Kieran Cruz needed to throw that ball earlier, and then once the pass was thrown, it was too far behind him for him to hold on. It's a couple of missed opportunities here for both sides here in the early going, and Bellarmine especially needs to clean up these turnovers. They struggled with it in the first half, 2 already. 90 seconds gone by, 2-point lead here for Cathedral. Here's McCoy inside, and there's going to be an offensive foul. Gio Sasso, who seems to be taking every charge for the Bells this season, takes the offensive foul on the drive, and so Bellarmine now with the ball. And Gio Sasso with a great backside rotation, gets to his spot before the offensive player does and takes the foul for his team. You love to see that kind of energy and hustle. It was actually a nice handoff by McCoy to his teammate on the baseline, but a better defensive play there by Sasso. Here's Sasso left wing up top to Elam. He'll go down low to Cruz, poked away once again, and another turnover by the Bells. Here's Reed, driving baseline, fall away jumper in transition off the front iron, rebound. It's fought for by Flowers, Chang, and Danker now, and it's going to be jump ball between Danker and Chang, which should be Bellarmine basketball. And things are starting to get a little bit chippy down there. Just a little. Chang and Danker were kind of aggressively going after that ball. We're seeing McCoy pick up Danker full court. It's starting to get a little bit tense down there. Let's see if that evolves into anything. Danker crossing over, almost has it ripped away, and another jump ball, and Cathedral will take this one. And as you mentioned, getting a little more chippy, both teams, as the intensity begins to pick up here with 6 minutes to go in the third. And I didn't think it was possible, but Sacred Heart Cathedral is playing with even more defensive energy than they were in the first half. I mean, they are being feisty and getting after it even more so. It's impressive to see, but that is how this underdog team has arrived in this championship game, and it's why they're up 2 right now in the second half. Here's a corner 3. Reed buries it. His first 3 of the night, and it's a 32-27 lead, the largest lead of the night for the Fighting Irish, as a foul is going to be called on the inbound. It is Corey McCoy picking up the foul. The referee warned him earlier about the defense he was playing on Danker, and he'll pick up his second. And even after the foul call, he runs right over to Danker, gets in his airspace, and just follows him around. He is trying to play some head games here with the Bellarmine point guard. So Cathedral on a 5-0 run here to open the quarter. Here's Danker, drives right side, 5:30 to play in the third. Sasso will drive middle, pulls from 15. Gio Sasso rolls one home, and it is a 29-32 lead for the Fighting Irish. Sacred Heart moving left to right as we approach 5 minutes to play. The 8th seed underdogs on top at Santa Clara in the CCS Open Division Championship. Here's Reed, right wing, 18 points in their win against Menlo Atherton, 8 of those coming in that second quarter. Here is a long 3 coming from McCoy, too strong, and Cruz tracks down the rebound left corner. And McCoy shoots a pure knuckleball. I don't actually know how he does that. There was literally no rotation on that ball, but he's been effective scoring tonight, so he'll keep shooting. Danker, left wing, pulls to a 15-footer, left it short, and a rebound taken by Flowers. Cathedral will push up 3 as we approach halfway through this third on top of the Bells. Here's down low Chang. Drives right, throws up a hook right block, and puts it down. Oscar Chang just made that look effortless for the deuce, and it's a 34-29 lead. Once again, Sacred Heart up 5.
And he's got the height advantage there on Sasso.
Danker drives into Corey McCoy, and a block is going to be called, and McCoy's going to have to sub out of this game. He's got 3, and coming in will be Johns as Sasso sits down for Wolfbloom.
With a coast-to-coast footprint of over 300 U.S.-based production sites, you can see why Vulcan Materials is an essential part of our country's makeover, including road and bridge repair, construction of office buildings, schools, hospitals, and more. Giving back to our community and shaping our future, visit them at vulcanmaterials.com. Arguably the most successful league in California Interscholastic Federation history, with more state titles than any league in the state. The WCAL is composed of member schools that share a commitment to interscholastic sports, superior academic standards, and shared faith. The member schools of the West Catholic Athletic League are happy to partner with Central Coast Sports Broadcasting, providing listeners with the best interscholastic basketball each week of the season. And we have got a doozy tonight.
34-29, the lead for Sacred Heart Cathedral halfway through this third quarter, as the Bellarmine Bells will take it underneath, trying to trim that 5-point lead.
I want to see if things stay chippy. That's when it gets fun.
It seems like it as this game keeps going the way it is. Both teams are playing very intense defensively. As here is Elam, right wing Danker. Danker takes a dribble baseline, now attacks, and a nice hesitation and a layup for Quinn Danker. Here comes Cathedral up by 3. Cedric Reed, who continues to be the leader of this offense, not in scoring, but just in the pace of how they go. He decides whether they want to push or slow up. Here's Reed, right corner, jabs right, goes left, pulls 15, right wing, left it short, rebound on the ground, and coming up with it is Flowers. Here's Reed back. He'll go down low. McCormick left it short. Second shot not there, but he gets fouled. And right now, Spencer, it just looks like Sacred Heart Cathedral wants it more.
I mean, they clearly did on that play. Elijah Flowers ran right past 2 Bellarmine Bells defenders as they were just kind of trotting after the ball. He sprinted to make up ground and ran it down, and then Sacred Heart able to make the play and get to the free throw line. That's why they have the lead. That's what it has been. It's been the hustle plays, the little things that we were talking about in the pregame that you have to do when on paper you might be an inferior squad, but they're clearly in the head of Bellarmine at least a little bit, and Bellarmine has not responded from an energy perspective.
Up top, here's Ruth. Bells down by 5, looking to trim the lead once again. This match is the largest lead for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Ruth, right wing, dribbling, crossover his left hand, Reed all over him. Now takes it down the right alley. Reverse layup, Ridley Ruth scoops it home. A big-time bucket from number 12, and it's back to a 3-point lead for the Fighting Irish. 3:08 to play here in the third.
And I talked about how he's a glue guy for this Bellarmine squad who can get his own shot every now and then, doing a great job right there. A beautiful left-handed reverse finish off what was a really nice, smart, well-thought-out dribble move.
So 33-36. One thing to note, Sacred Heart Cathedral has sort of slowed their pace up here in this third quarter. Johns has it poked from behind by Cruz. Wolfbloom couldn't come up with it, and Cathedral has the ball. Chang, right block, couldn't drop home the layup. Second shot opportunity, and Oscar Chang with a deuce.
And Chang doing a great job right there, keeping it up high. He missed the first one, but was able to corral the offensive rebound because he just kept his hands up high, and he is too tall for anyone on the court.
38-33, the lead for the Fighting Irish. 2:20 to play here in the third. Ruth driving, pulls it out, finds Cruz. Cruz off a screen, far wing. Kieran Cruz to Wolfbloom. Wolfbloom attacks, free jumper from 10 is way short, and a rebound taken by McCormick.
And a tougher rebound than you would think there from McCormick. It came off the rim and jumped on him kind of quickly, but able to corral it as Wolfbloom was trying to chase it down, and Sacred Heart has controlled this quarter.
Cruz almost took one away from Flowers. Instead, he'll swing pass right wing to Reed. Reed will slow it up. His team up 5, under 2 minutes to play in the third. Cedric Reed, left wing over to Johns. Johns watched by Danker. Jabs right, goes middle. Bounce past McCormick. Right block layup, rolls around and out, and Elam will come down with the rebound.
And Chang looked like he got pushed in the back there on the offensive glass.
Danker drives, right-hand layup, and he puts it home. Quinn Danker has 17 for the Bells, continues to be aggressive, and it's a 38-35 lead for Sacred Heart Cathedral.
Outfitters of Nike, Under Armour, and other national brands, there's only one team with the best supply network in high school athletics, BSN Sports. Give John Gillette a call today at 408-209-6433 or check their website, bsnsports.com.
Sacred Heart Cathedral continues to maintain the lead that they have kept since taking that 5-0 lead, Spencer. It has been really hard for them to get back into this game.
Yeah, it has, but Sacred Heart, like you alluded to a little bit earlier, they have slowed their pace a lot. I mean, their tenacity at the defensive end and on the offensive glass and for loose balls is still there, but they don't have the same type of urgency that they do off of the made baskets from Bellarmine. I mean, Bellarmine scores in the first half. Sacred Heart takes it out immediately, find whoever's there, get the ball up the court, and go. But in the second half, it's been much more controlled, much more methodical, and they've tried to get into their offensive sets. And to their credit, both strategies have worked for them here so far. They've got the 3-point lead, and once again, it looks like they're going to use plenty of shot clock.
So 1:20 to play here, 3-point lead in the third. 2-3 zone here for the Bells. Something we have not seen so far. Saw it in the third quarter against Reardon on Wednesday. Here's a drive. Trying to go outside to McCormick is Flowers, but poked away by the Bells. And with 15 to shoot, it'll be side out of bounds for the Fighting Irish.
And I love the way that against the 2-3 zone, Sacred Heart works it around the perimeter twice before they start passing inside.
Here's Jackson. Drives on Cruz into the lane. Layup off glass. Gophers out. And a rebound taken by Wolfbloom.
Gophers out? I like that. I might steal that from you.
Here's Danker, right wing. Quinn Danker has had a couple steals tonight, trying to grab a three, and he does. Give him 20 on the night, and it's a 38-all ball game.
And we talked about the team basketball of Bellarmine coming into tonight. That just hasn't been the case. No one's been able to get it going offensively. It's been a one-man show. That one man has been Quinn Danker.
Yeah, the junior guard has been on fire, 20 of the 38. Here's McCormick. Right wing over Reed's got it. Reed fires distance off the side of the iron, and coming down with that is Ridley Ruth in about a scram of three. Sacred Heart Cathedral, guys, he's able to pull down the ball, and that's why he continues to get minutes here for Coach Schneider.
But see, even right here, Quinn Danker has to work just to get open at half court on working on Cedric Reed.
5 seconds, 4 seconds. Danker, step back three, right wing, way short, tipped by Cathedral, and that is the end of quarter number 3. Well, a quarter that was dominated pretty much throughout, Spencer, by the Fighting Irish, but thanks to Quinn Danker, we're tied after 24 minutes.
I mean, he's got over half their points, and it honestly feels like it's more than that as we head into the fourth quarter. He has been the only consistent source of offense for the Bells, and it's really just been a struggle for everyone else on the floor. We didn't hear anything from Ian Elam, the birthday boy from Thursday night, or from Wednesday night, excuse me. Like, it's just been the Quinn Danker show. I mean, he's outscoring the rest of his team. He's doing it at a highly efficient rate. He showed us a little bit of everything, the mid-range jumpers, the teardrops, the hesitations to get to the basket. He's obviously got a stroke from beyond the arc, you know, bouncing back after what was a struggle for him from the floor on Wednesday and showing up big in this CCS Open Division Championship game.
Yeah, and picking up a lot of his teammates. Kieran Cruz still only one free throw made and has yet to have any more points on the board. So for the Bells, it will be Danker, Elam, Cruz, Wolfbloom, and Cole out here to start this fourth quarter. And for Cathedral, it looks like it is Jackson, McCormick, Reed, Flowers, and Chang, the starting 5, plus Flowers here for Cathedral. So Bells will come out. They will have the ball to start this fourth quarter. 38-all. We were tied after 3 quarters over at Independence 2 days ago, and that one went to overtime. We'll see what happens after these 8 minutes here at Santa Clara. Danker walks it across the timeline. Bellarmine looking to repeat the CCS Open Division Championship, while Sacred Heart Cathedral looking to be the first 8th seed ever to win an Open Championship. Here's Ruth, left wing, wide open 3, in and down. Almost rolled out for Ridley Ruth, but gets the 3 to drop, and it's a 41-38 lead for the Bells, their first lead of the second half.
It almost gophered on him.
Here's McCormick, right wing. 7:30 to play here in the fourth. Here's Reed. Back up top, McCormick. McCormick to Reed, right wing. They're looking for Chang down low. Cole has been able to lock him off as it stays a 2-3 zone for the Bells. Here's right wing Flowers. Bounce pass McCormick. Floater inside and a beautiful touch from Osen McCormick as it's a 41-40 lead for the Bells. A minute gone by.
And the decisiveness there from Sacred Heart Cathedral is why they're able to beat that zone. Quick, crisp passes and a beautiful decision by McCormick to quickly go up with the floater.
Ruth driving down the right alley. Fall away jumper off balance. Left it short. And the foul is going to go on Josh Wolfblum on the defensive rebound. So it'll be Sacred Heart Cathedral basketball moving left to right, down by 1 with 6:55 to play.
Published quarterly for 30 years. Don't miss the combination of business and lifestyle articles that affect the agricultural industry. Pick up a copy of Coastal Grower Magazine today or subscribe via coastalgrowermag.com.
Reed walks it across the logo. Cathedral chance to take the lead with a bucket on this trip. Here's Reed straight on, over to Jackson, taking it baseline against Wolfblum. Step back jumper, buries it. Ray John Jackson with the deuce, and a tough one it was. It's 42-41, Cathedral back on top.
And it's an impressive move there from the freshman Jackson. I mean, he does not look like a freshman on the court.
Wolfblum, crossover against McCormick. Spin move inside, lost the handle, tipped away by McCormick, but he gets it back. Here's Cruz, layup left side, and he puts it down. Kieran Cruz had Elijah Flowers on his back, and he's still able to get the layup to go.
And just a tremendous slash cut there by Kieran Cruz, recognizing that Flowers was a little bit out of position and just darted right down the lane, and the tough finish with the left hand. It's harder than you think to finish a layup when you're moving at full speed like that, knowing there's a defender on your back.
They're 43-42, Bells by 1. Here's a drive for Reed. Threw it into a couple Bellarmine defenders, but it bounced right back to him. Jackson, left wing, deep three, air ball. Chang the rebound, though. Chang in between a couple Bellarmine defenders, and it's a 35-second shot clock violation.
And Sacred Heart Cathedral changing their approach against the zone. Sean McKay is going to call timeout. I think it's a great timeout because right there, they really struggled against the zone defense, and they looked lost. And I don't know why, because they've been able to beat it so far without any problems. And then they just got away from it. They only had 2 guys up top, and then Jackson is forced into that deep, deep three. And really, I don't know why they changed that there, but that's probably what Sean McKay is discussing in the huddle. And then if you're Chang, you got to have a little bit more awareness there. He caught that ball with about 3 seconds, plenty of time to go up and at least try to draw a foul or at least hit the rim and try to keep the possession alive. But you got to be aware of those types of things in these late game situations in a 1-point game.
Yeah, 43-42. The Bells 2-3 zone has definitely caused problems, and that's why the timeout comes from McKay. And we'll see if he's able to crack the code. Bellarmine last time had a similar situation against Reardon and went back to man over on Wednesday night. So we'll see if they go back to man out of this timeout. It will be Danker, Wolfblum, Ruth, Elam, and Cruz for Bellarmine. And for the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish, it will be Flowers along with McCoy, Jackson, Reed, and McCormick. One thing to note, the Bellarmine soccer team is here with their CCS Open Division trophy that they just won about a 2-minute walk from here at the Santa Clara Soccer Stadium, as the Bells will move it right to left, trying to make it 2 for 2 here on Friday night.
Danker just got away with a big push-off. That is a missed call from the official. That was an extended arm and a clear push-off by Quinn Danker.
Danker, left wing, rips through and goes off a screen from Elam. Now has it up top, 5:20 to play. Bells up by 1. Wolfblum toes it baseline, just throws it up at the rim. Not a great shot there, and Cathedral will push left to right.
Yeah, you're right. Not a great shot. Almost had a case for a foul, but it would have been pretty egregious to call that after not calling the push-off on Danker.
So back to man, go the Bells. Here is Reed right wing, into the corner. Jackson over to Reed. Correct that. That is a 2-3 zone. Here is a 3 coming from McCoy. All over him was Ruth. Rebound is long, and it's going to be a foul on McCormick fighting for the rebound.
I'm not really sure where the foul was, but got to credit Elijah Flowers once again charging in on the offensive glass. just doing the little things and the hustle plays here for Sacred Heart as they're trying to pull off complete the Cinderella story upset victory.
Here's Cruz, inbounds looking for Wolfbloom, barely got it away. Bells with a man advantage. Wolfbloom behind the back pass to Sasso in the corner, and Sasso will pull it out up top to Danker. 4:45 to play here in the fourth. Bells 43, Sacred Heart Cathedral 42. Cruz thought about a 3 left wing, crosses over the left hand, drives the alley. Jackson strips it from him on the layup and will push ahead. Flowers, left side, layup, off glass, too strong. Rebound coming down with it is McCoy, but fighting for it is Sasso, out to Danker, and the Bells come up with the ball.
And kind of just that they did, because Sacred Heart got away with a travel at their end too.
Here is a foul by Jackson in transition against Danker driving. What a sequence that was. It looked like it was going to be a rebound for McCoy and a fresh 35 for Cathedral, but Gio Sasso with his back on the ground, able to rip it from him, and the Bells chance to add to their 1-point lead.
And Elijah Flowers was trying to slow himself, but it looked like he shuffled his feet as he had the ball, but got away with the travel.
Sasso has to throw it up to Cruz after the ball is inbounded poorly, and Cathedral with another steal. Here's Reed. Euro steps around Wolfbloom. Layup inside, left it short, and Wolfbloom with the rebound, but it's poked from his hands out of bounds to Cathedral.
And Sacred Heart is begging to get any kind of foul call right now. I've got to say I agree with them. The officials are just, they're letting everything go, and it's not exactly super ticky-tack at the other end, but there have been some pretty blatant missed foul calls here.
Wolfbloom drives, left wing Elam. Now up top to Danker. 43-42 has been the score here for a while as the Bells try to add to their lead. Cathedral trying to get back on top with a stop. Here's down low for Elam, and a foul is going to be called on McCormick, and Cathedral cannot believe it. You're absolutely right, Spencer. There was a play down low where Josh Wolfbloom should have been called for a block, moved his feet as Reed drove, and instead we get an off-ball foul here against Sacred Heart Cathedral on the other end.
And it certainly doesn't help for Sacred Heart that they have to hear a "you can't do that" chant from the Bellarmine faithful, but McCormick right there just doing a little hand fighting.
Here's Elam down low, beautiful play design, gets an easy 2. Ian Elam gives the Bells our largest lead of the second half, 45-42 with 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
And it really is a great play design, because what Elam does is sets a back screen off the ball and then rolls to the basket. Two Fighting Irish go with the man in the corner, and Elam just rolls to the basket. Authentic quality dishes with local ingredients, a uniquely seasoned crust, and prepared fresh daily. Pomodoro Pizza in the Almaden Valley, a great place for great food on game night or any day of the week. 6932 Almaden Expressway, San Jose, or click the website PomodoroPizzaAlmaden.com to place your order.
So 3:32 to play here in the fourth quarter, 45-42. Bellarmine leading the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish, the Cinderella story. What do they need to do to complete it here tonight?
I think offensively they've got to start attacking the rim again. I mean, they've settled too often for outside jumpers, and that's not what they were doing well in the first half. But the other thing they've gotten away from is the transition. I mean, even off of made baskets from Bellarmine in the first half, they were getting out and running and catching Bellarmine off guard and trying to exploit, just miscommunications or guys not getting back on defense. But we just haven't seen that in the second half, and it's proved detrimental as they were up earlier, but now they're down by 3.
3:18 to play. Cathedral moving left to right out of the timeout. McCormick bounces it over to Flowers to Reed right wing. Reed will drive down the right alley, stripped by Sasso and out of bounds to Cathedral. Cedric Reed asking for a foul.
And that time I don't think he should have gotten it. I think that was good defense from Sasso, knocking it out of bounds, coming off of the corner in that 2-3 zone.
Here's an inbound underneath. Down by 3 is Cathedral. Reed will shoot to tie, and he does. As the shot clock expired, Cedric Reed with another triple, and it's 45, all 3 minutes to play.
And hit that one right in front of his bench and then ran into his coach while he went up the court the other way. And we've got a doozy here at the Levy Center.
Here's Danker. He'll shoot another 3. Right wing, in and out. Sasso the board, and he fights for it, trying to go to Ruth, but it'll be out of bounds to Cathedral.
Great hustle there from Cedric Reed. Sasso the offensive glass, but Reed not giving up on the play, chased down the ball, caused Sasso to kind of be chaotic and out of control. He was falling to the ground, and he ultimately threw it away. That's great hustle there from the guard.
Here's Reed up top. Crossed over to the left hand, working against Danker. Now looking for McCoy right side. Will bounce it to Flowers near wing. Up top, back to Reed it goes. 15 to shoot here for the Fighting Irish. Tie ball game at 45. Here's McCoy right wing. Left-hand dribble. Crosses over against Sasso. Attacks the lane. Left-hand layup. Too strong. Rebound up in the air. Ruth falls to the ground as he grabs it. Throws it over to Elam. And as he's on the ground, Flowers throws it away, and Cruz will take it from him. Here's Cruz. Shovels to Danker. Pump fakes. Gets McCoy in the air, but left the layup short. And a rebound will be taken by McCormick, who calls time.
Great timeout there by McCormick, and here's why. He gets the defensive rebound after the scrum. He's on the baseline. You'd think Sacred Heart might want to push, but he started to fall out of bounds, felt a defender coming, and didn't want to try to throw a risky pass. Still 2 timeouts left now for Sacred Heart Cathedral, so that's a great timeout to preserve the possession for the Fighting Irish. Check that. They'll have 1 timeout remaining. But on your ride home, tune in to the Central Coast Sports postgame show. Stats, insight, and more. Make sure you listen to the Central Coast Sports Player of the Game, all part of the Central Coast Sports postgame show. Keep Carlo and myself right here on your ride home. We'll be breaking down this one, giving you some final stats, and looking ahead in the CCS playoffs.
So 2:02 to play here in quarter number 4. Coach Schneider talking to his team out of the timeout. It's 45 all tied. Coach McKay trying to lead his team to a Cinderella story of the year and possibly of the last 5 years.
You ever see Caddyshack?
I have not.
It's a Cinderella story.
Spencer's keeping it light.
The great Bill Murray. You always keep it light on air, man. You always keep it light. High school sports are fun.
1:50 to play. This one should be a fun one. Tied at 45. Here's Reed up top. Has it with the right hand. Just hit a big 3 to tie this ball game up. McCormick, left wing, goes by Cruz. Now finds Reed. Another 3. Left corner. Too strong. Rebound. Chang comes down with it. And another 35 as Bellarmine was asking for a travel.
And Chang once again is doing a great job pinpointing the ball and timing his jump. He's the tallest player on the floor, and he's gotten several offensive rebounds tonight, and if he were 3 inches shorter, he wouldn't have had him.
Here's Reed, right wing, 15 to shoot for Cathedral. Drives down the right alley, gives it in the corner. McCoy, a 3, nothing but nylon. Corey McCoy with a big-time triple, and with 1:05 to play, Coach Schneider will call time. His team down 3.
What a big-time shot there from Corey McCoy, but once again, credit Oscar Chang for what's got to be at least his 5th offensive rebound of the night. He's given Sacred Heart Cathedral a number of extra possessions, really living up to the name Fighting Irish. He's been battling all night on the glass, and he is doing just a great job. And what more can you say from Corey McCoy, just knocking down the triple? It's not as if he was left open. He was just right in front of his bench. He looked up, he saw 5 on the shot clock, said, you know what? I'm putting this ball in the net, and we're going to go try and get us a victory. And they're 1 minute, 5 seconds away from the ultimate Cinderella comeback.
Yeah, Mike Molieri, the coach for Menlo Atherton, was interviewed after their loss to Sacred Heart Cathedral. Closing the interview, he said, their record is not an indication of the team they have, and there could not be a truer statement for the Sacred Heart Cathedral team.
Yeah, I mean, they look like a team that really is playing with a chip on their shoulder, like we mentioned, but the overall talent and skill that you see here, it doesn't look like what you would expect from a 3-11 league record and a 12-14 overall. I mean, they've got shooters, they play hard, they can defend really well, and they have just done a great job overall tonight, battling and doing the little things well, which is what these underdog teams always do when they go on these runs. They have done it tonight, and they are 65 seconds away from being the first 8 seed to ever win the Open Division in the CCS playoffs.
Well, Quinn Danker, who's got 20 points, will walking across the timeline for the Bells, moving right to left. Danker yet to score, though, here in this 4th quarter. Cruz will go off a screen up top, behind the back dribble on McCoy. Now drives down the left alley, lost the handle on the ground, out of bounds. Bellarmine basketball underneath with 16 to shoot.
Elijah Flowers is fired up. He was all over Cruz. There could have been a foul call there, but the officials have been letting them play tonight, and Flowers is firing up his team right now with his defensive energy.
Ruth into the corner, Danker to tie, off the front of the iron, off the leg though of Flowers, and he goes out of bounds. It will be Bellarmine basketball with a fresh 35 and 45.7 7 to play.
And Flowers trying to say that he didn't go out. He dove on that floor, once again tracking down the loose ball, but I think his body did just barely touch out of bounds as he was saving that ball, but he almost did.
So Bells down 3 will inbound one more time. Here's up top Elam to straight on Danker. Danker, right-hand dribble, crosses over looking for a screen from Cruz. Now has it with the right hand, with the left, gives to Cruz on the flare. 3 to tie, Kieran Cruz too strong, and a rebound taken by the Fighting Irish. Bellarmine got a foul, shot clock is off. Here's Reed, driving to the rim, finds inside Chang, layup off glass, and he puts it home. It's 50-45, Cathedral on top.
And what a smart play by Cedric Reed.
3, Danker in transition, and he buries it with 17.1. Well, when it looked like the Bells' hopes were over, Quinn Danker says, wait a minute, and buries the triple.
And at the other end, I alluded to it, Cedric Reed with a brilliantly smart play. So he had the ball on his own side of the timeline, was bringing it across. A defender was on his back because he knew that Reed was going to try to just bring it back into the backcourt and waste time. But Reed took the opening smartly, little bit risky what he did, but he's able to weave his way through the Bellarmine defense and created a 2-on-1 because Bellarmine was all going for either the steal or maybe even the foul, but Reed was too fast, too elusive, too solid with his handle. He came down in the 2-on-1, gave a great show like he was going to shoot until the very last moment and made a perfectly timed and on-target dump-off pass to Oscar Chang. There's a really, really heads-up and well-executed play there by Cedric Reed. And then at the other end, I mean, what more can you say about Quinn Danker? He's got 23 of his team's 48 points tonight, and he has just hit a big, big shot in this game that has kept it alive. And, you know, Sacred Heart now with one timeout. Bellarmine is out. So if you're the Bells, you're going to be playing this one mostly on your own.
So 17.1 to play. You're going to need a foul and a couple quick missed free throws if you're Bellarmine.
But you don't have to go for the foul right away. You've got 17 seconds. It is a 2-point game. You do not have to immediately foul. They're able to run the baseline, but they're going to try to trap this.
Here's the inbound inside to Reed, and he is trapped in the corner, and he stepped out of bounds, but the ref didn't call it. And it's going to be timeout Cathedral. Cedric Reed stepped out of bounds, but he was unable to be seen by the referees, and there's no call.
It's hard to tell what came first, the out of bounds or the timeout. By the officials' call, it is a timeout. So Sacred Heart is now out as there's 13.9 seconds left in the game. But just like I said, I actually think Cruz initially was going to try to foul. He looked like he was reaching for the arm, but then at the last moment he realized Reed is about to back himself into the corner. So let's try to trap him, which they did. And Reed, I couldn't tell, you know, whether he stepped out of bounds first or whether he got the timeout. The official rules in favor of Sacred Heart there. I really don't know which one it was. It's a bang-bang play, but Sacred Heart going to have to come up with a better inbound strategy because Reed was trapped. He was going to have nowhere to go, and he was going to have to throw a fall-away heave somewhere back into the court. Kind of like what we saw yesterday from Piedmont Hills.
Yeah, it looked like Piedmont was going to have to give the ball up, but they were able to throw one down the sideline and move it up the court. So
Brandon Lowe was the guy who threw that pass.
He will play here, or at Palo Alto actually, tomorrow night. So here comes the inbound for the Fighting Irish. Up by 2, 13.9 to play. They inbound it down low to McCoy, and this time he's going to be fouled immediately, but Corey McCoy threw that ball out of bounds as Bellarmine fouled him.
He did throw it out of bounds, but I think he threw it out of bounds because he was fouled.
Yeah.
It looked like he was going to be able to make that kind of jump-through pass, but his arm got held, so his arms kind of sprung back and then released the ball forward too far.
The Bells need to foul 2 more times. Here's an inbound to Reed. Throws it ahead to Jackson. Nobody near him. Jackson left side, up top, and they're going to call a foul. Jackson fouled before he released the ball. That one was awfully close, as wide open down low was Flowers for an easy 2.
And Flowers was able to finish because there was nobody around, but Sacred Heart wanted an intentional foul, didn't get it, and still 2 more times to foul is what Bellarmine is going to have to do.
And Coach McKay is livid after that call. As here is the inbound, 7.6 to play. That possession took a lot of time off the clock as Cruz fouls, and about 0.9 seconds come off with 6.7. 50-48, Sacred Heart Cathedral just 6.7 seconds away from completing the Cinderella story. They need to inbound it one more time, and then Bellarmine will foul. Here's McCormick to inbound. Gives it to Reed, and Reed's going to let it go out of bounds. And it's going to be, here's the call, as it looked like it might have been touched. Cedric Reed watched that ball bounce out of bounds. I think Lewis touched it at the end, and so with 5.4 underneath, it will be an inbound here for Cathedral. Here's it underneath, and it's going to foul immediately will happen on McCoy. So McCoy's fouled by Danker, and he'll shoot free throws with 4.5.
And on that previous inbound, Cedric Reed must have been 100% sure that Elam got a hand on that ball guarding the inbounder, because he let that ball go out of bounds. I was kind of confused for a moment. I was like, what is he doing? Why would that be the case? But both the officials, before they made the call, smartly looked at each other, said, hey, did you see a deflection? I did. And they conferred with each other and got a consensus before making a call. Now McCoy with a big free throw.
It's 1-and-1 free throws. Bellarmine does not have a timeout to stop the clock. It's a miss. Wolfbloom comes down with it, but he's stripped from behind, and a rebound will be taken by McCoy with 2 seconds.
And that is the summary of the game, isn't it? Is Bellarmine there with a chance to secure the rebound, and Sacred Heart just hustles, rips it away, and is now at the free throw line again. That's what it's been tonight for Bellarmine.
It's been the extra effort by Sacred Heart Cathedral that has put them in this position. McCoy, free throw, too strong. Rebound, Wolfbloom. He's poked from behind again, and Sacred Heart Cathedral completes the Cinderella story.
What a play from Jackson. I mean, Wolfbloom was gonna get a 3/4 court heave off or try to dribble to half court or something. And once again, Sacred Heart never gives up on the play. Ray John Jackson, the freshman, pokes that ball away to seal it. Sacred Heart is celebrating out near center court, and they have earned it as the number 8 seed in the CCS playoffs. They have won the Open Division title just with raw hustle and heart. Credit to the Fighting Irish tonight.
This is a team that, as we mentioned at halftime, had lost 9 of their 10 games between January 8th and February 6th. And I think if you had told Coach McKay on February 6th, hey, at the end of the year, you're going to be CCS Open Division Championships, he wouldn't have believed you, but here he is.
Well, I think he would have. I think he would have believed you. Now, a casual watcher of basketball probably wouldn't have believed you, but when you pull off a tournament run like this, it starts with belief. It starts with belief from every single coach, every single player, the practice players, the JV guys who they scrimmage and practice, anyone. Everyone's got to believe, buy in, and the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish tonight just showed a tremendous amount of heart, hustle, grit, determination, every type of extra effort word that you want to throw in there. They showed it tonight, and that is why they are walking out of the Levy Center here at Santa Clara University as the 2019 CCS Open Division champions, and they're going to finish with a record of 13-14. How about that?
And a team, we talked about team basketball wins games. Here's your stat line across the board. McCormick 6, McCoy 8, Reed 8, Flowers 2, Chang 14, Jackson 6, Johns with 4. It was team basketball. Only one guy scored more than 10 points, and they're still able to come out with the win.
Really just a nice balanced attack, but they did have some nice passes, but really the reason that it ended up being such a balanced box score for Sacred Heart is because every guy is aggressive. Every guy was doing the little things. They got a lot of buckets in transition. Chang was tremendous all night on the offensive glass. Flowers was doing it at both ends of the floor. Jackson had some great drives. Cedric Reed didn't have his best night from the floor, but certainly hit some big shots. It really was an all-around team effort, and like I said, just a gutsy, gritty performance by the Fighting Irish, and they're champions tonight.
The team, as you mentioned, will finish 13-14 on the year, getting their biggest wins when it mattered most. Out of St. Ignatius, Reardon, and Sacred Heart Cathedral, they're the first team from San Francisco to reach the CCS championship, and they're the first team to win the Open Division championship from that San Francisco group of schools, a first 8th seed. And Spencer, I think it'll be a long time before we see another team like Sacred Heart Cathedral make a run like this.
It's just a testament to the team that took the court tonight, and clearly not the same team that lost 9 out of 10 games. I mean, that they were in it from the get-go. It was an early Bellarmine run that started 9-2, and it looked like, oh, the 8th seed is finally going to, have their overall lack of talent or whatever catch up to them. But that just wasn't the case, because they really controlled most of the game. I mean, they were up for big parts of it, but they never let it get out of control. And when they were winning, it felt like they were just moments away from going on a big run, and they were able to make the plays late. Again, with the hustle plays, we just cannot emphasize enough how tremendous they were all night long. Loose balls, effort plays, getting on the floor, active hands at the defensive end, offensive rebounds, you name it, they did it tonight. And that's how they've won this huge, historic game.
Sacred Heart Cathedral will get their awards. This is a Sacred Heart Cathedral program that historically has done really well in terms of their championship games. They've appeared in 14 CCS championships, Spencer. They've won 11 of those, but the highest one was Division I in 72. Everything else from there on was D3 or D4. So the first time really they're playing in an upper division and proving this is where we belong.
Clearly. I mean, they played with an edge tonight all night long. We saw it from the get-go, and that they wanted to send a message tonight and make a statement that we are here, we belong here, and we deserve everything that we are about to get, and that they earned it tonight. They really did work and earn every inch of this game.
And this is a team that will graduate Osen McCormick, Cedric Reed, Elijah Flowers, but will keep Oscar Chang, Corey McCoy, Ray John Jackson. Look out for that name in a couple of years. Freshman guard played terrific tonight. Miles Bow will also graduate, and Lavin Johns. But a great future ahead for this Sacred Heart Cathedral team. Now, we like to say this would be the end of the season, Spencer, but that's just not true. There is state tournament to be played. Looking forward, what is Sacred Heart Cathedral going to look to do? And this Bellarmine team, how are they going to try to bounce back from this loss?
Well, if you're Sacred Heart Cathedral, you have to reset. This game was great. It's historic. Celebrate it tonight and maybe tomorrow a little bit as well, but then it's back to work. The state tournament is not going to be easy, and if you want to make any kind of significant run there, you have to play as hard as you did tonight, and you have to not make the types of mistakes that we saw. We saw some silly turnovers, a couple of defensive breakdowns. Those are the types of games that as you advance in a state tournament, you're just not going to be able to make and walk away with victories. And if you're Bellarmine, you have to recognize that your season's not over. This is not where it ends. Yeah, it's disappointing. You would have liked to win this one, and a lot of these players are definitely going to feel like they should have won the game, but you can't let it get to you. You can't let it affect you. You have to realize that there are other games. They're coming around the corner, and if you want to make a run, it starts tomorrow.
So the final stats for the Bells: Quinn Danker 23 on the night, Gio Sasso ahead 4, Kieran Cruz with 3, Ian Elam with 11, Ridley Ruth with 7, and Josh Wolflum with 2, all unofficially. Well, we're going to give a quick shout-out to our sponsors: Netafim Drip Irrigation, Gonzalez Irrigation System, Coastal Grower Magazine, Block Construction, BSN Sports, Pomodoro Pizza, Vulcan Materials, Kevin Moore, Henri von Massenhausen, and, of course, the Green Waffle. Big shout-out to Santa Clara University for their hospitality, Bellarmine and Sacred Heart Cathedral High Schools, and the Central Coast section, and the WCL for their support. Also, shout out to 95.3 KRTY, San Jose's Hot Country, not only bringing you the very best in today's country music, but offering high school sports as well as being the South Bay home for your Golden State Warriors. Thanks to Nate Deaton, Nicole Woodson, Jamie Paul, and for more information, go to their website at krty.com. Well, our player spotlight, Spencer, Netafim Drip Irrigation player spotlight, grow more with less. For more information, call Mark Clifton at 831-258-8089. Who is it going to be for you?
I got to go with Oscar Chang. I mean, there are a lot of guys who deserve this award because so many. Elijah Flowers is kind of my 1A for who's the player of the game. But Chang on the offensive glass, his positioning was phenomenal all night long. But again, I think Chang is the #1 player of the game because he had the most points. He had a number of big offensive rebounds, and he did some solid things to the defensive end as well. But this really is a team effort. This was a 9-guy rotation that we saw tonight, given a tremendous amount of heart and hustle, and that's why they're getting to celebrate this win right now.
And they earned every bit of celebration, as we are going to wrap it up here on the broadcast. 50-48, the final score from Santa Clara University. Sacred Heart Cathedral, the 8th seed Cinderella story, wore in the away greens the whole tournament and will wear their championship medals with the away greens on. 50-48, our final score for Spencer McLaughlin and Carlo Jimenez one last time, signing off here on CCSB Live for this season. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.